And so that's why we are here today. So you can experience the benefits, so you can experience how it feels before and after your journaling practice. I like to just get stuck in and get started. And so each month we focus on a bit of wild writing, and then we follow that with some guided journaling prompts around a different theme. And as I've said today, the theme today is self-care. And so we're going to move on to those journaling prompts shortly. To start with, we are going to explore wild writing. And so that is a freestyle opening journaling technique. There's no rules with this. It's completely just you and the paper, you and the page. There are no rules, no structure. I love this type of journaling style when I'm feeling particularly overwhelmed, usually at the start of my day, just to clear the decks, because it can be really overwhelming, the things that we carry in our mind. And this way, just this journaling technique just allows us to just get it all out onto the page. And even sometimes that is enough to make us feel lighter. And research shows that if you don't want to keep that piece of paper and you want to throw that away afterwards, it will still have the same benefits as if you were keeping stacks of journals. So let's try this together. If this is your first time and you feel a bit daunted and you just want this time to just reflect and think, that's absolutely fine too. Take what you need from this time together. I'm going to set a timer for 5 minutes, and we're going to just do the journaling all together in this silent space for 5 minutes. And when we come back, I'll just ask you if you've got any reflections from what's come up in your writing. And I don't want you to share the content, that's absolutely your private content, but any reflections of what's changed or shifted for you during this time. So I'm going to go quiet now, and we're just going to have 5 minutes here. And I'd like you to think about what is on your mind today. And that's our 5 minutes completed. So just inviting you to come back into the space as and when you've finished your writing. Any thoughts on that? And what came up for you? What you've noticed? And again, no need to share the content, only just reflections. Mine has turned into a big to-do list, which is not overly surprising. But yes, a little bit different from what I usually receive in my wild writing. It's just a reflection of the week ahead, I think. So it's quite messy. It's a bit of a brain dump there. But that's helpful in getting things out of my head and onto the page. Beth, I love this transition of yours from a to-do list to a gratitude list. That's really lovely, and that might prompt me to do that a little bit later as well. Nick, also a to-do list coming back from holiday. Great. Yes, lots of priorities probably demanding your attention. Arpna, feeling calmer and lighter. And Tracy noticing a theme of connection. That's really beautiful. So lots of to-dos here. Noticing mindsets, recognizing the need to reframe some thoughts, and also gaining clarity. And there's no right or wrong there. And hopefully you've just seen in that short 5 minutes how powerful this can be. We don't need a lot of time for journaling to be powerful. That's one of the myths I want to break down. We don't need to spend half an hour or an hour dedicated to our journaling practice, although that's lovely, for it to have a huge benefit. I'm loving the comments coming through from what you've noticed from that. And there's no right or wrong. It's whatever you need journaling to be. Sometimes that's a to-do list. Sometimes doing this practice helps us see what's going on in our minds. Like you said, I've found clarity. I've noticed I need to reframe some negative thoughts. That's beautiful because now we can see it. We can do something about that rather than going into our day and just being on default. We're going to move into the journaling prompts so we can spend some time on this. So this is about self-care is the theme this month. And this is really just so different prompts to help you find different perspectives, to give you a little bit of structure to your writing if the blank page is a bit daunting for you, or if you found that you don't really feel drawn to that. Prompts are fantastic at helping us navigate an issue, find different responses, and just challenge our own thinking. So this month we're looking at self-care, as I mentioned, and thinking about your version of self-care. Self-care is a complex one, and it can be more than bubble baths and spa days, although those are lovely. Today we're thinking about what does self-care really mean to you and your relationship with self-care. So I'm going to pop up a different prompt. We've got about 5 or 6, and we're only going to spend about a minute or so on these. So we're going quite quickly through these. And so you may want to just mark one to come back to at a later date. Again, this is for your eyes only. So you're not going to be asked to share any of this content here. And I'll guide us through each of these. So the first one we've got coming up is, what does that term self-care mean to you? And secondly, what did you learn about prioritizing yourself growing up? And next up, how do those lessons help or hinder you now? And in which ways do you think you could be holding yourself back in relation to your own self-care? And coming up next, what aspect of self-care would make the greatest, most positive impact on your life? And finally, this is our last prompt for the day. If you could make one small change to your week this week that would put your self-care first or higher up the list, what would that be? And just bringing you back into the space when you're ready. So we've very quickly gone through those prompts. How did you find that? What did you notice? You might want to look back over your notes and see what jumps out at you, see if there are any common words or themes or phrases that you want to highlight, circle, scribble out. Did you prefer the prompts versus the wild writing? Just seeing some comments coming through here. It's a powerful subject, so please do look after yourself. You know, we touched on kind of going back there and thinking about what our beliefs might be around self-care and where they've come from. So do look after yourself. If anything has come up for you that might be a little bit painful there. I'm enjoying the love for these prompts. Francis, really like the last question about small steps. The small steps add up, and that one's really kind of getting us to think about action there. So you might find that useful if you want to commit to some action. Letting go of the past and being more present without time to overthink. I hear answers very quickly. That's really lovely, Selena. Noticing how you make decisions, how you find answers. Feeling much calmer and grounded. Thank you all so much. It's a lovely session. I love these sessions. They're so useful for me as well. And I just love journaling with you all. So thank you all so much for your time here today. I wish you a great rest of the day and week, and hope you navigate through that, filling your cup, doing some self-care for yourself, and really hope to see you next month in November, where we will be talking about people pleasing, a big subject there as well. And if anybody is interested in a longer session, I'm just planning some end of year reflection sessions. So there will be a small charge for this one. It's going to be a 90-minute journaling session just to help us think about what we've learned from the year, what we want to take with us into next year, and setting some intentions. So I've just popped a couple of links in the chat there if any of that is of interest to you, but lots of time to book on, so no rush on that. Thank you all so much. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I hope to see you again soon. Take care. Bye, everyone.